Before Frankenstein cemented his legacy and explored the horrors of scientific obsession, there was The Man Who Changed His Mind, 1936. This lesser-known sci-fi horror film stars the legendary Boris Karloff in a role that feels both familiar and groundbreaking. Imagine a world where minds can be swapped between bodies, where the soul and identity are no longer tied to flesh. It's a concept that still intrigues audiences today. But does this film hold up? Or has it faded into obscurity? Let's find out. To appreciate The Man Who Changed His Mind, we need to understand its place in film history. By 1936, Boris Karloff was already a horror icon thanks to Frankenstein, 1931, and The Mummy, 1932. But instead of another lumbering monster, this time, he plays Dr. Laurience, a scientist whose discoveries could change the world or destroy it. This British sci-fi horror film was directed by Robert Stevenson, who later became famous for Mary Poppins, 1964. But back in the 1930s, he was making eerie thrillers that blended science fiction with gothic horror. The film was produced by Gainsborough Pictures, a studio known for its early contributions to British cinema. Unlike the classic mad scientist trope, Dr. Laurience isn't a villain at first. He's a visionary. But as his experiments progress, his moral compass starts to crack. This film explores themes of identity, ethics, and the dangers of unchecked ambition. The film wastes no time setting up its eerie premise. Dr. Laurience, a once respected scientist, unveils his shocking discovery. He can transfer the human mind from one body to another. His assistant, Dr. Claire Wyatt, played by Anna Lee, watches in both awe and horror as he performs his first successful experiment. This moment is a classic example of 1930s sci-fi storytelling. The flashing machinery, the whirring of strange devices, and Karloff's intense performance make it clear, this is no ordinary discovery. But as we soon find out, power like this comes with consequences. As with any great mad scientist story, ambition soon turns to obsession. When Laurience's funding is cut, he grows desperate. He begins using his mind transfer technique for personal gain, swapping minds without consent, manipulating others, and slipping further into ethical decay. One of the film's most chilling moments comes when Laurience decides to swap minds with a wealthy, dying businessman. The idea? To escape his own failing body and continue his work in secret. It's a terrifying concept, especially for 1936 audiences. It asks a haunting question: if you could live forever by stealing another's body, would you? As the film reaches its climax, Laurience's plan spirals out of control. Dr. Wyatt and her love interest, Dick Hazelwood, race against time to stop him. What follows is a thrilling confrontation, one that forces Laurience to face the consequences of his actions. Without giving too much away, the ending delivers a classic 1930s mix of poetic justice and eerie finality. It's a reminder that in science fiction, playing God rarely ends well. So, does The Man Who Changed His Mind still hold up today? In some ways, yes. Karloff's performance is captivating, the mind transfer concept is still compelling, and the film's eerie atmosphere gives it a timeless quality. But in other ways, it's a relic of its time, filled with dramatic monologues and early sci-fi tropes that feel a bit dated. However, its influence can't be ignored. The idea of consciousness transfer has since been explored in films like Get Out, 2017, Face Off, 1997, and countless episodes of Black Mirror. Karloff once again proved that horror and science fiction could blend seamlessly, paving the way for future mad scientist stories. At its core, The Man Who Changed His Mind is more than just another 1930s horror film. It's a thought-provoking exploration of power, ethics, and identity. It may not be as well known as Frankenstein, but it's definitely worth watching. What do you think? Does this film deserve more recognition? Or is it best left in the past? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Science Fiction Journey, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into sci-fi classic. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of science fiction